Hey besties, right now we're in Switzerland and I want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. Have you ever found yourself feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or just completely lost in life? Let me tell you, I've been there myself. Especially in my 20s, I suffered through all kinds of mental roadblocks and I had no idea how to handle them. That was until I found therapy. And that's why I'm so happy to partner with today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started with BetterHelp, just answer a few questions about your therapy preferences so they can match you with the right therapist from their impressive network. Then choose how you want to communicate: text, chat, phone, or video call, and message your therapist anytime or schedule live sessions at your convenience. If for any reason you need to switch to a new therapist, no problem. Plus, it comes at no additional cost, and trust me, switching to a new therapist happens all the time. It's completely normal. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you'd expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who's custom picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. So what are you waiting for? Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/besteverfood. That is better, H-E-L-P, and I've also put the link downstairs in the description. Now, onto the show.
Last time on our awesome Australian food adventure,
Come on.
Andrew and I tried kangaroo cooked underground.
That is way more juicy than I thought looking at the outside.
Yeah.
Now we're leaving land and heading to water. Australia's coastline and pristine waters are teeming with edible marine animals of all kinds.
We come out here to get mud crabs, shellfish, and whatever else we want.
In the past, Aboriginals used a variety of methods to catch, trap, and collect this succulent seafood. Today, Andrew and I are joining forces with a local team to hunt and cook up seafood the Aboriginal way.
Oh, it puked out green stuff on me.
From dangerous marine life that can leave you with a deadly sting,
Sometimes you'll see their bubs sticking out of the water.
What?
to squishy creatures that don't look so satisfying.
Oh God, this one's vomiting. It must be motion sick.
It all starts here during low tide.
Elijah, put her there. Where have you brought us?
To Murijuga. This area here is known as Watering Cove.
Elijah comes from a long line of Aboriginal Australians. He carries the tradition of his ancestors forward, equipped with incredible hunting prowess, used to treat Andrew and I to an iguana just yesterday.
That is like really pure white meat.
But his talents go beyond hunting on land.
So it's low tide right now. When the tide is all the way up, how deep of water would I be in?
Would be underwater. All these rocks that you see in the back, even those ones up there, they all covered in water.
Local fishermen have a golden opportunity at low tide to hunt for shallow water dwellers like bream, whiting, flathead fish, and queenfish, netting themselves a fortune or simply satisfying their appetites. But the best kept secret of Australian seafood is the stingray.
I'm a little bit worried about the stingray. What people might think is that it's the end of the tail that gets you, but no. 2/3 of the way up the tail, there's a barb that sticks up and it hits you with the barb, and the barb has a venom inside, right?
Yep.
And the venom will, for lack of a better word, you up.
Right, that doesn't sound a lot of fun.
Have you ever been stung by a stingray?
No, I haven't, and I don't want to.
But what if it stings you? Does he have to pee on it as a prophylactic to be careful?
He can if he wants to.
Okay. If he gets stung, you're peeing on it. And if I get stung, you pee on me. And if you get stung, I pee on you.
The best tool to hunt this majestic marine life, a 3-barbed spear. Wearing highly protective aqua socks is a nice bonus.
Boom. All right, we are in the water. I see rippling mud. It's not that deep.
Dude, there's not much visibility at all.
Because there's no sun out, we can't see the bottom. I wouldn't hunt in this weather like this.
The Aboriginal Australians developed a dense playbook of fishing techniques and philosophies. Spearfishing is just one. Ware fishing, net fishing, and trap fishing are among others passed down over generations.
Oh, is that something? That's rocks.
Like many hunter-gatherer communities, Aboriginal Australians only take what they need, giving the environment time to replenish and thrive. But right now, we need help getting whatever we can.
Visibility is bad, and it's actually worse than it was even a few minutes ago.
How the hell did you see this, Elijah?
Look for the ripples on the top of the water. If not, you see black spots straight through the water. Sometimes you'll see their bubs sticking out of the water.
What?
How about I stab anything that moves?
I mean, you're probably gonna blunt your spear.
Too late. I was getting a little bit stabby.
If there's one thing that stays sharp after minutes of fruitless searching, it's Elijah's vision. Before we know it, he secured a stingray meal under his spear.
Well done, bro.
You were pretty pessimistic before.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This here is a mangrove whip ray, identified by its thick oval pectoral fin with numerous white flecks, a whip-like tail, and a frightening stinging spine.
The first move here is to remove that, right? But you keep the tail on, you just cut the barb off. Oh.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's like a shark tooth. Can this still hurt you?
Yeah, it can, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look that intimidating.
Well, just don't poke it into you. We don't have air evacuation with our insurance.
You brought me here without fucking insurance.
We have a guy with a motorbike, and he has a siren on his motorbike.
That's it? Why did I agree to this?
On the drive here, I was told there's some rock art of a stingray liver. Is that the best part of the stingray here?
It would be, yeah.
Can I tell you something? You know, I've had like the shit from intestines of cows, raw bile from buffalo. The worst food I've ever had in my life was the stingray liver. It's like all the worst flavors combined. Fishy, bile, it's like acid. I need like, But it was such a cherished food that people, maybe hundreds or even thousands of years ago, wanted to pay homage to it by painting it on the side of a rock. So we absolutely have to try this for historical reasons.
As eager as I am to taste this historical delicacy.
Oh my gosh.
One stingray does not make a meal. Plus, we barely revealed what this place has to offer. So before the tide rises, we're heading out for octopus.
What are we looking for, Elijah, to see these octopus?
Rock pools are an ideal habitat for octopus, as they provide shelter from the strong currents and a steady diet of invertebrates and small fish.
Hopefully they're walking around out of their hole. So you want to catch animals when they're hunting for food.
We have the best odds of catching the common Sydney octopus, but that's if we're lucky. Today, Our Lady Luck has granted us this.
Sea cucumber. The octopuses we're trying to hunt, they don't want to be caught at all.
It makes sense.
These guys don't give a shit. I figure we can all carry 8.
Nah, I don't want to touch it.
Why would you want to touch that?
I stepped on it before, I felt, yeah.
Well, just put it in your hand. You don't have to eat it.
Nah, I don't want to touch that.
I like it 'cause he's so much more badass than me. He's out here like shooting iguanas and spearing stingrays, but touching this,
Can't handle it.
too icky. So I think we get 10, 20 pounds of these and just head back and cut them up and see what's inside.
We don't eat that.
You don't eat this, why not?
Because we just don't.
Gosh dang it.
As disappointed as I am by our failed rock pool hunt,
All right, let me put him back. I think this one was here.
the tide is rising fast, and we must move on. Our last hope lies within the mangroves. Australia flaunts the world's 3rd largest mangrove-studded coastline, spanning over 6,800 miles. These exact same mangroves were tread over by food-seeking Aboriginals hundreds of years ago.
Along the way, I saw a lot of snails. Do you eat snails?
Yeah, most of the time you just chuck them straight on hot coals and then you pull the meat out with a stick.
Oh, that sounds good.
More than an endless pantry for the Aboriginals, mangrove plants are used for medicines, while mangrove timber is perfect for constructing canoes, boomerangs, and other hunting tools.
What is the most prized creature that you could get from here?
Mud crab. Well, if you're gonna look in the pools, they'll be just walking around in the water. But if you're gonna go look around in the muds, they'll be somewhere in their burrows.
Right now, Elijah is on a quest for some vicious mud crabs, while Andrew and I
Gathering. No violence. It's very peaceful. It's tranquil. It's calming, in fact. I ate these no less than 2 weeks ago in Vung Tau in Vietnam. I believe this is the baby version of this. And these are all alive. As you pick them up, they recede inside of their shell. And I can't wait to see how they're cooked up. Andrew,
Yo.
we are hunting, yes?
I mean, they move, right?
I mean, how'd they get here?
They're big snails as well. That's more hunty.
It's like a mangrove buffet over here. And I like to feel like we all pitched in a way. I mean, if we're going by like quantity, I got the most of that. What do you call these?
Long bombs.
That's like all shell. That doesn't count. How much meat do you reckon's in that?
Plenty of meat in there.
Heaps.
I don't know why he's helping you out.
Well, then you also got some mud crabs. It's kind of given up. And it also doesn't have claws. Did you catch this without claws or did you remove the claws?
Catch it with no claws. You can see the claws are starting to grow back on it.
Yeah, like a couple little nubs here. So from here, we have all of our food.
Time to cook it up and have food, yeah.
Have a feed, I like that. Like I'm a oxen. Mangrove course 1. These look delightful.
They are, mate.
Joining us for our first taste of the mangrove, Clint, who we met last time as we dined on kangaroos cooked whole underground.
You know, the shooters know that we love tails so much. They just supply tails. We can buy like a box of 15 tails.
It's like chicken wings, but the indigenous version.
Clint operates an Aboriginal cultural tourism business that offers a glimpse into the traditions and history of his people.
Can you talk about the method of preparation? I'm so fascinated. You know, we saw how the iguana was cooked yesterday, how the kangaroo was cooked, and then now the seafood today is just put right on the charcoal.
What we do is we want to put it head side down onto the coals, and what that does, it allows the juices inside to sort of steam it on the inside and you get more flavour. Plus, we don't want the crab to run off the fire.
That's practical. How do you eat this?
What we'll do is we'll pull some of the legs off, crack them open, and yeah, get the meat out.
Ooh.
That looks great.
Oh yeah. It's sweet.
Pretty good considering there's nothing added to it.
Well, I think, you know, for crab, lobster, shrimp, you kind of can't go wrong with just steaming. That's essentially what this is, steaming it in its own body. So do you like the leg meat more or the body?
I like the leg meat, but the claw is the best part.
Oh, fire.
Uh-oh. It's been revealed we're on a set. So now he's breaking into the claw.
Nice, look at that.
Oh, it's delicious.
It is so sweet.
Yeah.
So sweet. Dude, I've always boiled crabs. I have no idea why I haven't just thrown them on the fire like this.
Yeah, it works surprisingly well.
I thought it would dry it out.
Or undercook it, because, you know, the body was on the cinders, but the legs were up here doing this.
Yeah.
But that's still good. I'm curious, looking at how you guys cooked yesterday, how you cook today, were seasonings ever part of traditional cooking for the Aboriginal folks here?
Indigenous Australians have used earth ovens, hot coals, and ashes for baking food since ancient times.
There is seasoning that we do use to complement some flavors, but most of the things that we eat, when it's cooked a particular way, it comes out really good. So you don't always need seasoning.
This Aboriginal cooking style also represents a strong bond with the land and a communal approach to sharing food. After all, food hoarders don't last long in a tribal setting.
We have a couple more things to try, including the stingray. Now the stingray, I wouldn't call it a seasoning, but you were saying that there's a body part that you use to flavor the meat.
So inside the stingray, we've got the liver.
The worst food I've ever had in my life was the stingray liver.
And the liver can be eaten raw.
Very soft and jiggly. That's gonna be a trip.
Jaden, another Aboriginal friend of ours, is in charge of the stingray preparation. After removing the liver and setting it aside, he grills the whole stingray using this primitive cooking style. While the charcoal is still burning hot, Jaden grills up our collection of snails.
This pretty nice. I helped catch 9 of those snails.
Yeah, you can have 9.
First of all, how do you break it out of here?
So we're gonna need a heavy duty knife to crack it open, and then we're gonna extract it out of the shell.
Wow. Oof. The meat inside looks fascinating. It is green, like marine green. Slightly briny. I like it.
Snails aren't the most appetizing thing ever, but
Maybe it has a good personality.
pretty good though.
It's really good. Slightly dense, a little bit of grit for texture and fiber.
Like a crab.
Yeah, it has the sweetness of a crab and the feel of like a steamed piece of squid, like calamari.
If these things were in Vietnam, you know, they'd be hundreds of dollars a kilo.
So how often are you eating snails then?
Probably like once every couple of months. Usually when we're going hunting for the bigger stuff like mud crabs, stingrays and stuff, we'll cook the snails up first, sort of like breakfast, and then go hunting.
Does it give you any health benefits?
Yeah, it's full of protein, so it should be good for you.
I thought I was gonna say aphrodisiac.
Only if we're in Asia.
We're not in Asia anymore. Beyond the snails, we also have the stingray right here. It's kind of looking like the kangaroo, though. Charred, a bit rough, tattered on the outside, but on the inside, I don't know. Is it good?
Yep.
Wow, the skin just really peels away so easily. Certainly, I've never seen stingray prepared this way. Oh, that looks gnarly.
Brains.
What? The eyeballs are still there. There's like kind of a protective bone to keep the brain safe. There's gills back here. That looks wild. Can we try some of the meat?
Yeah, go ahead, mate.
Oh, dude, it is juicy. It's so much more moist than fish.
And even slightly mushy.
Yeah.
Let's try it out. Oh, wow.
That's great. That's
really-
really good.
It's interesting because it's wet, it's mushy, it's soft, but the flavor is so smoky.
In front of coals.
I was talking earlier about seasonings and herbs, but this doesn't need anything. This is one of the best stingrays I've ever had. It's really delicious.
Clinton, on the way in here, you showed me some rock art of a stingray liver. What is it about the liver that's so important to your people that you were making rock art of it many thousands of years ago?
The Aboriginal Australians have inhabited this land for at least 65,000 years, making them one of the oldest continuous cultures in the world. Their ancient wisdom is reflected in the rock art that adorns the continent.
The liver is a delicacy, like in the goanna, like in the kangaroo. It's got all the good fat, the omegas and all that sort of stuff. And then when combined with the meat, it actually enhances the flavor. It gives it another taste that is different to what the meat would be on its own, you know?
I guess let's try that now. You put it in this traditional bowl. From here you take the raw liver and then you just squeeze it with the meat, making kind of a liver and meat mush. Oh, it looks very soft and jiggly. Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude.
Gentlemen, cheers. Oh. That's good.
It doesn't taste anything like the stingray before, really.
No.
That's different. The extra flavor from that liver.
And from your hands. It's taken on a new texture. It's kind of bouncy. It has the same great smoky meat, but with this fat flavor infused inside of it. It's kind of like the fat from a shrimp head or from a crab.
It's way more creamy. Like it really is like a spread or a paste now.
What's wild is one of the worst things I've ever eaten in my life was stingray liver, and this is delicious. I'm really shocked. I thought I'd be like, okay, yeah, it's good job. I love it. Traditions, that's great, but I like it.
That's pretty good, dude.
Well done. I'm curious, you know, Andrew was talking about the rock art. How far do those go back?
And a lot of them are over the 45,000 year mark, but some are created during the Ice Age period, and then others made in the last few thousand and last couple of hundred years. As far as we know, about 3,000 generations of our family have lived in this same area. In that time, a lot of things have happened and changed, and like even where we are today, the sea wasn't even here. There was no mangrove, no ocean, none of this stingray. It was, you know, 100 kilometers away from where we are now. And as they changed, the scenery, they've recorded it as well, and the food that came along with that change and adapted to it.
It's my understanding that seafood like this, pretty much anybody in Australia could go get some snails, could get a stingray. What are the seafood species reserved only for the indigenous people here?
Turtle, for example, is something that only indigenous Australians can eat, and the dugong, which is similar to your manatee.
When you say turtle, you mean sea turtle.
The green turtle.
In our next episode,
Left, yards left.
we'll witness the pursuit
He's there.
and capture
Got him.
of a massive sea turtle, a traditional right reserved only for the Aboriginal people.
Wow. I could say that affected me a lot more than I thought it would. It looks exactly like the dirt, like the ground, like the sea floor. How do I not step on one of these?
I'm not sure.
I thought he was gonna have better advice than that. The vegetables of the sea. Well, these are technically fruit, huh? This is a sea cucumber. In Australia, they'd call it a sea cucumber. What do you think is inside? Hello? Instead of going out there in the ocean and stabbing things, nobody wants to be stabbed with a spear, but you know what? People don't mind being collected. I helped catch 9 of those snails.
You can have 9.
Oh, well, I guess I didn't get the stingray, so I can't eat any raw liver.
What a bummer.
What a bummer. Yes, what a bummer. All right, I gotta stop doing it. Boom, guys, that is the end of our second video here in Australia. I hope you enjoyed it. My gosh, we are doing a whole Australian food series, and we are not going to any restaurants. Right here, my friend Andrew. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, sir.
Right here, you can follow him on YouTube. He is currently posting a series about a minority ethnic group in Vietnam known as the
Katu.
And the series features a lot of local food too. Please go check it out right now. Otherwise, that is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace. Man, we almost got an octopus in that little pool. There's like those little pools.
I remember.
And then Clint let it go. He was just like, if you let it go, they'll swim away. And now we don't have octopus.